Welcome to PWCI. This week, I am the Mad Conservative Crime Fighter. We are flashing back to 2014. Pro Wrestling Glory in Maroa, right north of Decatur. Derek Moss making his way to the ring, who is going to be tag teaming in kind of a lethal lottery type of pairing. He's teaming up with Spencer Powers to challenge with the PWA tag team titles, Technicolor Wonderland, in a bid to thwart Technicolor Wonderland from their title reign eclipsing Moss's and Attitude Incorporated. The opposition will be Tom Arson, and these two have had a number of issues over the years. It's Tom Arson that put an end, or put Derek Moss on sabbatical for many, many months. Of course, I always say no one honors Loser Leaves Town, and yes, Loser Leaves Town was not honored, and Derek Moss is back on the roster. Not that I'm complaining, but the Loser Leaves Town with stipulation I just don't care for. I think every Loser Leaves Town just needs to be time limited and not, let's say, lifetime. It's Tom Arson. Well, at ringside is Nelson 6. For a time, Nelson 6 was part of Tom Arson's Nation number 1. There's a sunset flip into the ring and a clothesline, and Nelson 6 to the floor. Nelson 6, of course, is one half of All Eyes on Us. All Eyes on Us made the return to Pinfall Wrestling Association just 1 month ago. Pinfall Wrestling Association will be this Saturday at the 8th Street Gym on the baseball field. It's assuming the field is dry enough to set the ring on the field. If not, if it happens to rain quite a bit in the couple of days before the event, Day of Reckoning, the ring will be set up in the parking lot just like last time. Hopefully, the ring will be set up on the baseball field, on the grass. It will not be on the clay sand portion of the field where the diamond is. We'll just set it up in the middle of the baseball field, the outfield. Bring your own lawn chairs. Lawn chairs. That way the personnel do not have to clean every chair with sanitizer. That's quite a job. Of course, food and beverage will be served with your ticket to Day of Reckoning at Pinfall Wrestling Association in Springfield outside. The weather is expected to be rather cool out, 70 degrees. The start time has been moved up a couple of hours to 4 p.m. as Derek Moss shoots Tom Arson to the other corner. And Mossy charges and hits the post. Derek Moss has bulked up. He looks a lot smaller in this 6 years ago. Moss has bulked up a bit to more of a heavyweight. Tom Arson, a 20-year veteran of the Squared Circle, a member of the Central Illinois Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, in fact, the longest tenured active wrestler in the Hall of Fame. He was inducted in 2008, but has wrestled off and on in the 12 years since that induction. And Tom Arson with a forearm to the back of the head. One of the forefathers of professional wrestling in Springfield, Illinois. One of the men who got it started in Springfield. There's a slingshot into the middle rope. Tom Arson did give a speech before Derek Moss came out. We decided to cut that out of this episode due to time and relevance reasons in terms of the context of the show coming up this weekend. Of course, Tom Arson teamed up with Phage, the Pumpkin King, in a bid to win the Toka State Memorial Tournament. That came up short as Tom Arson wanted to have all the glory in getting the final pinfall. And that, of course, cost him dearly as Phage felt insulted and walked away from Tom Arson, only for Arson to be pinned by Stephen Bishop and the former Dan Liplock, now going by his real last name of Conley. Not using his first name, he's just going by Conley. Dan Liplock had an epiphany and looked in the mirror and didn't like what he saw, and he thought it was time for a change. So he's turned over a new leaf. He's no longer Handsome Dan Liplock, he's now Conley. As I said, Derek Moss will be teaming up with Spotlight Spencer Parrish to challenge Technicolor Wonderland with the PWA Tag Team titles.
Don't do that.
Seem to have a bit of a problem around the ring. I don't know if somebody was thinking of doing something they shouldn't be doing, but I don't know. Other matches for PWA's Day of Reckoning. Raven Black will be taking on the pretty little psycho Shauna Reed. She still has a title shot for one of the PWA titles. That time limit to use that title shot's probably going to be extended due to the fact that COVID pretty much ruined everything, as Derek Moss puts a boot to the face of Tom Arson. And now, Derek Moss may be going for the brain buster.
No, what?
Tom Arson trying to scoop up Derek Moss, couldn't pick him up. Dumps him down to the canvas. And now, Russian leg sweep. And Tom Arson goes for the cover, 2 and a 2 count. This match was from 2004, the old Pro Wrestling Glory. Pro Wrestling Glory, of course, merged with 01 Supreme in September of 2014. Much to the surprise of many, including myself, in a rare bit of consolidation in the face of Federation Sprawl. And by the way, I was going to do another news episode, but I just did not have the energy or the time to compose another news episode. I'm certainly even angrier than I was last week about the governor's actions and basically government in general and the hypocrisy and how they're handling COVID-19 and restrictions, as government officials have been exempting themselves, as they typically do, from everything they mandate. Tom Arson on the top rope, moonsault, and nobody home. Queen of the indie scene, the PWA Women's Champion Harley will be taking on the Black Widow, Harley Fairfax. We featured her a few weeks ago, so it's kind of the battle of the Harleys. Harley without a last name taking on Harley Fairfax. Of course, they are not going to announce her as Harley Fairfax at PWA due to the naming conflict. They'll just announce her as the Black Widow. But we have featured Harley Fairfax a few weeks ago in a losing effort to Shauna Reed, Harley's best frenemy. There's a 2 count. Derek Moss gets that lariat, only a 2 count. IJ Sweet will be teaming up with a mystery partner against the duo of Johnny Kincaid and Moondog Pongo. Those are the matches that have been announced so far. Magnus, of course, will have another one of his open challenges. Derek Moss going up. Nelson Six looming on the floor. Arson standing up. Doesn't see him coming and gets the boot up. Excuse me, he did see him coming. That's how he got the boot up. Took Derek Moss on the way down. Goes for the cover. Referee counting. And a kick out. So we have 5 matches so far. We are waiting for any other match announcements. We do not know who the Great Cardini will be taking on. It's been rumored he will go again. He will defend the title again against the Strangler, Roy Lewis. But that is not confirmed. Of course, there's Roy Lewis. Oh, there's a diamond cutter from Derek Moss. And Mossy comes over for a cover, and Nelson Six on the ring apron. Derek Moss and Nelson Six, of course, have been rivals over the years, along with his partner. Look at that low blow from Tom Arson, a face breaker. Derek Moss down and out, and the referee counts 3. Steals it. Tom Arson victorious in 10 minutes, 45 seconds. We are going to take a quick break. We're going to have tag team action to close out the program, but here's the weekend schedule. Alright, tag team action, and 2 men that are, well, been having a lot of issues. The on-again, off-again relationship between Guy Smith and Spencer Powers is currently off again, hence why Guy Smith is not going to be wrestling this weekend. It's going to be Spencer Powers tagging up with Derek Moss, of all people. The challenge for the PWA Tag Team titles, currently held by Technicolor Wonderland, Matt Hatta and Victor Analog. Guy Smith was offered a match with Spencer Powers. Any stipulation he wanted, he turned it down. Spencer has a mic.
Attitude problem.
Well, and given that this was 2014, well, I will sum up what was going on in 2014 in a moment. And here comes the Hooligans. They are the opponents. Hooligans officially retired late last year, calling it a career after 15 years. Kind of one of the most decorated tag teams in the country, and should have been signed to one of the major companies, but they weren't. Couldn't believe why they weren't signed, because they would have been a natural fit for Ring of Honor, TNA, or Impact Wrestling, WWE, anything, or New Japan, just any company, because they are a well-oiled tag team, legendary, future Hall of Famers, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, 2014, Guy Smith and Spencer Powers were on the rocks. As I have stated, they have been on again, off again. And this was a period of time when they were about to be off again. Spencer Powers that year was the Pro Wrestling Glory Heavyweight Champion. He was also the Pinfall Wrestling Association Heavyweight Champion. Guy Smith challenged Spencer Powers in both organizations. In fact, they feuded over, they had quite a lengthy feud for a few years. They got back together at some point in PWA. Had a couple of reigns as tag team champions, but they are split up again, yet again. Spencer Powers is going to be teaming up with Derek Moss to challenge Technicolor Wonderland and break the length of their reign, which is approaching record levels in the regards to the regional heavyweight title reign and tag team title reigns. Technicolor Wonderland about to eclipse. And that eclipsed both singles and tag reigns. And that's, a lot of that's due to COVID kind of extending everything. Due to a shutdown, the titles are not being defended and there's no shows to defend them on, so from March to August, the end of July, no shows, and that time just adds on to the length of the reign. Mason Devin Cutter pounding on, there's a standing moonsault leg drop combination. They were supposed to wrestle. Technicolor Wonderland for the PWA tag titles in November of last year. They did not make it. Supposedly they forgot they were supposed to appear. I find that hard to believe, but they did not arrive. for their scheduled tag team title match, and they retired a short time later, or declared their career was at an end. That's Mason Cutter in there. There's a cover. Referee comes over, gets a 2 count. World Powerhouse Wrestling has been forced to cancel their show this Saturday. That was supposed to be in Collinsville. It was canceled due to increased restrictions by our illustrious, fearless leader, Governor Pritzker, who cannot prove lockdowns and mask mandates actually reduce COVID-19 infections whatsoever. In fact, there's no evidence whatsoever, and e-cigarette and vaping users show utterly how useless those stupid face diapers truly are. As you watch the exhale go all over the place in the exhale. Sooner or later, I'm going to do another news episode and rant against this crooked as hell governor. There's also scheduled to be a demonstration on the state capitol grounds in protest of Governor Pritzker's actions, mandates, restrictions on September the 19th. There's a kick from Devin Cutter. Here comes Spencer Powers, kicking away on Mason. Referee tied up. Spencer Powers with the cover. There was no tag. 2 count. New Way Pro is going to run in Terre Haute, Indiana at 1439 Ash Street. That's across the border. So it's PWA and New Way Pro running this weekend, and that's it. 3rd weekend of September. It's not looking good for St. Louis Anarchy to run on September the 18th. We're going to put that as a tentative. I suspect we're going to get a cancellation notice any day. Irish whip, Guy Smith, swing and a miss. Another swing and a miss. And Mason takes down Guy Smith. Powerhouse Wrestling Extreme will be in Cedar Point, Illinois at the Gunsmoke Grill with a 1 p.m. start time. That's a Sunday. That's going towards the South Peru. Spencer Powers in here. IWA Productions will be returning to Mount Vernon on September the 26th as Spencer Powers with repeated leg drops on Mason Cutter, only a 2. There is a lot of demand for bookings. Wrestlers are trying to get a match somewhere in the country, and IWA Productions had a 11-match card because they had gave booking slots to the additional wrestlers that arrived, trying to get booked. Some wrestlers were turned away as a result. It's nuts. I mean, everybody who's out of work is the true victims because of government restrictions that may not have any effect whatsoever. I mean, these governors and elected officials have no idea what to do. They think the virus is so deadly that anybody who contracts it will be dead within days. That's the narrative. It's not true. Now, there are people who die from the virus. Centers of Disease Control say only 6% of all COVID-infected deaths were due to the virus and the virus alone. Everybody else had an underlying condition. Serious and critical cases have dipped quite a bit. Close to 15,000. As of September the 3rd, which has got to shock some people. Guy Smith in. There is one other event I've been made aware of pretty late on September the 12th, and it's a 24-hour outdoor camping event in a little town called Reddick, Illinois. That is just east of Dwight. going towards Chicago. Get off at I-55 and Route 17, and Reddick is to the east. Here for our benefit show for DOC, who was injured in a wreck. Mason Cutter, first elbow. Oh, he yanks him down by the singlet. DOC and his boss were seriously injured in an accident in Colorado. Oh, side suplex. He escapes. Standing Hurricanrana, tag out. And here comes Devin Cutter, and here comes Spencer Powers. Got the tag. That benefit show, tiny.cc Riddick-Wrestling. And Devin charges in. Mason, boot. Devin, butt splash. Rolling tackle by Mason. The Hooligan barrage. Cover. Guy Smith breaks it up. And Mason dumped to the outside as Guy Smith pounds away. And now, hold the phone. Drops it down. That leg drop, double team. Devin Cutter down. Guy Smith's not the legal man. Kick out. Here's Spencer and Devin Cutter as the legal men. Spencer dumped to the outside. Referee's lost track. Moonsault off the second rope by Mason. Devin trying to get in position. Splash. Mason. Now, these two men are not legal either. The referee has lost track of everything. Referee does not know who's legal. And now, Guy Smith, belly to belly! And Mason Cutter pulls out Guy Smith. Spencer Powers comes in, covers, 3 count! And Devin got an arm up, but it is late. A late kick out. Well, at the time, I did not know who was the legal man or not. I had to think it over. But Devin Cutter and Spencer Powers were indeed the legal men at the time, as they were the last ones to get a tag.
I think Spencer was legal. He's the last one to tag in. That's right.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of PWCI this week.
It's your fault. How's it my fault?
No, it's not my fault anyway. Hoping to see you at Pinfall Wrestling Association this Saturday at the A Street Gym. Tickets available now on the Baseball Diamond, 1401 South A Street in Springfield. We'll see you there. Have a good night, everybody.